"My son, stop bleeding on people who didn't cut you." I say that not to shame you, not to accuse you, but to wake you up to something that is quietly costing you your relationships, your work, and your peace. You are carrying wounds that were never acknowledged when they happened. And when wounds aren't integrated, they don't disappear. They look for a place to express themselves, often in the wrong places, on the wrong people, at the wrong time. Trauma does not make you weak, but unexamined trauma makes you dangerous, not outwardly, internally, because it hijacks your perception. You begin reacting to the present as if it were the past. You interpret neutral situations as threats, feedback as rejection, distance as abandonment, authority as control. And without realizing it, you punish people who resemble the source of the wound rather than the source itself. This is what it means to bleed on people who didn't cut you. You're not angry at them. You're angry at what they remind your nervous system of. Your body remembers experiences your mind tries to outgrow. And memory stored in the nervous system is not logical. It is associative. It doesn't ask, "Is this person actually dangerous?" It asks, "Does this feel familiar?" Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace. That's the trap. This is why trauma often repeats itself in new forms. You don't seek pain consciously. You reenact it unconsciously. You choose partners who trigger the same wounds. You respond to stress the same way you always have. You sabotage work situations when authority or pressure mirrors earlier helplessness. And then you tell yourself stories. They're controlling. They don't understand me. They always let me down. Sometimes that's true. Often it's projection. Projection is when an unprocessed emotion is displaced onto someone else because holding it internally feels intolerable. Anger you were never allowed to express becomes irritability towards safe people. Grief you never processed becomes detachment. Fear you never learned to regulate becomes control. This is not character failure. It's unfinished work. But unfinished work still causes damage. Here is the part you need to hear clearly. Your trauma explains your behavior. It does not excuse it. Explanation without responsibility turns pain into a weapon. And that is how men become bitter. Bitter men don't heal. They justify. They turn their wounds into identity. They say, "This is just how I am. This is how life made me." People should understand. But understanding does not require tolerance for harm. You are still responsible for what you bring into the room, especially if you want intimacy, especially if you want leadership, especially if you want peace. This is where most men avoid the work, because taking responsibility feels like betrayal of their own pain. It feels like saying, "What happened to me doesn't matter." That's not what responsibility means. Responsibility means this: what happened to me mattered. And because it mattered, I will not let it control who I become. That is strength. That is integration. Integration does not mean reliving the trauma endlessly. It means recognizing how it shaped your nervous system and retraining your responses consciously. Let's be specific. When you feel disproportionately angry, pause. Ask yourself, what does this remind me of? Not, what did they do wrong? But, what old feeling just got activated? That question interrupts projection. When you feel the urge to withdraw suddenly, ask, what am I protecting myself from right now? When you feel the impulse to control, ask, what am I afraid will happen if I don't? These questions move you from reaction to awareness. Awareness is where choice returns. Trauma removes choice by making reactions automatic. Integration restores choice by slowing the response. This is why regulation is more important than insight. You can understand your trauma intellectually and still act it out. Your body must learn safety in the present. That takes repetition, calm exposure, boundaries, containment. Another hard truth: if you don't take responsibility for your wounds, you will eventually resent the people closest to you, because they will become the carriers of your unexpressed pain. They will feel blamed for things they didn't do. They will feel punished for expectations they never agreed to. And over time, they will pull away. Not because they don't care, because they cannot carry what isn't theirs. This applies to work as well. A man who hasn't integrated his trauma often struggles under authority. Feedback feels like attack. Structure feels like control. Expectations feel like pressure. So he resists, he disengages, he sabotages. Then he tells himself the environment is toxic. Sometimes it is. Often, his nervous system is reliving something old. This is why trauma integration is not optional. It affects everything downstream: your relationships, your career, your self-respect. And here is the most important part. You are not meant to heal by isolating yourself, but you are also not meant to heal by making others your therapists. Healing happens when you take responsibility for your internal state before you act on it. That is maturity. That is containment. Containment means you feel deeply without dumping. You process without projecting. You express without blaming. This is what allows intimacy to deepen instead of fracture. A man who has integrated his trauma is not emotionless. He is regulated. He can feel anger without becoming aggressive. He can feel hurt without becoming cruel. He can feel fear without becoming controlling. That man becomes safe. Not passive, safe. And safety is what allows trust to grow. If you want a woman to relax with you, you must stop making her pay for wounds she didn't create. If you want respect at work, you must stop reacting as if authority is a threat. If you want peace, you must stop exporting pain instead of processing it. This does not mean suppressing emotion. Suppression rots. Integration transforms. Bring the pain into the light. Name it. Understand it. Train your nervous system to respond differently. And then choose to act with responsibility anyway. You don't heal by avoiding triggers forever. You heal by learning to stay present when they appear. That is the work. And it is work worth doing. Because when you stop bleeding on people who didn't cut you, something remarkable happens. Relationships stabilize. Trust deepens. Conflict becomes navigable instead of explosive. You stop fighting ghosts. You start living in the present. And the present is where your power is.